YouTube, hello, it's the Kame Love Anime back with another video. If you are a new subscriber, please take a second to like, comment, subscribe. All that helps this channel. If you like this video and check out other videos on the channel, you'll definitely find something you like. Get into the video. So today is going to be my manga haul. So this video got corrupted and I have to make it again. So we're just going to get into it. So these are just some volumes I picked up in June/July. So we're going to start with the series of Gigant. So Gigant was one of those series that I picked up, reasons being because I was a fan of the creator Gantz, and I just haven't got my hands on that series yet. That series was a lot more expensive than Gigant was, so I knew that I wanted to just read something from the author, Oru. I just knew I wanted to read some of his work, so I just thought that I would pick up Gigant. Plus, it was on my list. So volume 1 that you can see in there, I just got my hands on. Volume 2 and 3 is what I had months ago. So I just knew when I seen volume 1 I had to get it because I was ready to start this series. It was one of those series that was sitting in my collection that wasn't being started, and I just knew that I had to get it because I looked over in that title. The cover would always draw me in for some reason, and like you see on the cover, the name Gigant, it definitely throws you for a loop. The name definitely gives a lot away, but this series was something that really set me off on the edge and was one of those series where I couldn't figure out what to expect, and those are the type of series that I like. I thought that just reading volume 1 and a little bit into 2 that I knew the premise of what was going on, but as it went along I didn't know the premise, and every new qualities and events started to happen and trickle down in a way that you're like, yo, what is going on? By the way, this series is one of those kind of lewd series that does have adult content in it. So if you are of younger age, I do not recommend this series. Unless you are on the more mature side. If you are on the mature side, then go ahead and give this a read. I really suggest that this is one of those series that is a little bit different from everything else that we read, and is in a pocket that I necessarily can't name what you would call that type of genre, but I thought it was a really good read. The premise of it is as you can see on the cover, lady with the pink hair is Papa Chico, is a adult film star, and the guys you can see on the front on volume 3 is a boy that is a fan of what she does, and he and her start to have romantic interactions, and they just become something, and then the story just unfolds from there. I like the premise of it. I really thought that it was really good for what it was, and it's one of those series that there's not a lot of dialogue in the panels, so you can relatively read through multiple volumes really fast, which is good because you can consume a lot and you're not overbearing yourself with a lot of words. So check that out if you like that. This one is going to be Solo Leveling. So Solo Leveling is, by the way, check out my Solo Leveling video of what I think of the trailer and everything else in my reaction. Solo Leveling is going to be a series that is coming out and now getting animated. So if you didn't know, Solo Leveling is a manhwa series, and a manhwa series is a Korean series, their version of manga. And I'm starting to think that manhwas are going to be more like come to the forefront more, starting with this series. I really think this series is going to open doors for them. I want to see how they do the anime, but for the manga, I like it. I think it was, like I said before, in the last video I made of this that got messed up, I thought it was going to be a gimmick series. I really thought that this was just going to be something that was just over the top, just too much to handle, and just didn't make any sense at all, in my opinion. Reading it definitely does give you that feeling of just John Woo Sung, the main character, just being overpowered, and rightfully so. From his beginning to where he is now in volume 4, that's where I stopped at, and I'm going on to just read whatever else is online. He definitely does give you that feeling of just being super overpowered, but it's not one of those situations where he just is getting out of situations by just random power-ups. If he's stuck in something, then he's stuck in something, he has to find a way, and then he'll tackle it again later on in the next volume or later on in the next chapter. And I like that about it because it also gives it a relative down to earth feel while being blown out of the water. And I think that with the pages already being colored, I think that that'll transfer over great for the anime, because now you know what to expect. I know there is a lot of, like, when you're reading black and white regular manga, you start to look at pages and a lot of things don't really make sense because things don't translate over, whether that's a skin color or that's a hair or whether that's just blood or just magical, whatever you want to say. Something might not have been represented the way that you thought it would have been. But in Solo Leveling, I feel like everything will translate over well. Plus, I just think that it's good. I know it's going to be something that people will probably love and hate, no in between. But I definitely think this series has potential because there is a lot of dialogue in there and there's a lot of build up and there's a lot of progression. And it's not just swing sword, swing sword, swing sword, blow him out of the water, use elixir, HP, mana, blow it out the water, this time. Like, his character development is amazing. And I can say that because I've read up to this point. So I really advise that series, Solo Leveling. If you're into RPG type series like that, that's what I would classify it as. Let me know if you classify it as something else. Check this out. Don't let other people's outside noise maybe gravitate you away from this. Maybe just give something a chance and see if you like it or not. If you don't, then just not for you. But I definitely advise it. I think it'll be a really good read for anybody that was definitely wants a different feeling. It's definitely different from regular original manga because you read left to right instead of right to left, and the pages are colored. Me reading that and going back to grayscale definitely threw me off a little bit. Nextly, we have a series in here that I'm gonna talk about in a little bit more detail. Is by the creator of Takahashi Fujimoto. That is the creator of Chainsaw Man, and that was the reason that I picked this series up. I'm an avid fan of Manga Hero. I love his channel and what he talks about in manga, and he was one of the people that advised me to go get Fire Punch. I like Fire Punch, and I just read volumes 1 and 2 today, and I can go ahead and tell you that, by the way, I'll say that before this is Takahashi's first English translated work before Chainsaw Man. That series right here you see in front of you, Fire Punch, is really good. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I might think, in my honest opinion, I might have to go back and just recheck Chainsaw Man, but I thought that this was gonna be more just not as well written as Chainsaw Man was, but this is on par or even better than well written in Chainsaw Man, in my opinion, because Fire Punch is amazing. I can't vouch for it enough, in my honest opinion. It's definitely one of my top reads in my collection as of right now. Just I'm really a fan of his work. I've also read his one shot of Goodbye Ari. That was kind of just sad to me. I might have to go back and finish it, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that because that's a real big dose of reality in that one shot. But Fire Punch 1 and 2, I'm probably gonna read 3 tonight. Just amazing. I really advise this series. This is definitely a series that you need to go pick up, especially in the wake of the weight of us in Chainsaw Man. I definitely think this series is way more grittier and darker than Chainsaw Man, in my opinion. And it's crazy to say that how dark Chainsaw Man is. Chainsaw Man is very bloody and gory, but I think this is more grittier and darker in ways that I necessarily can't explain unless you read it. The character development, flawless. Whoever the character, any matter the character you see on volume 2, Togata, her character development gives you Maki vibes. Just amazing. I definitely can see the similarities in the draws from each one. I'm gonna have to even make a video Fire Punch compared to Chainsaw Man because I can see the similarities in how he took one from another. But if you love Maki, read this, cause she crazy. She a boss. I can't lie. Like the way she like go about everything, and it's crazy because the story is, in her eyes, is she's filming it and it's portrayed in third person and we're reading in third. Like, bro, it's crazy. It's kind of crazy how stuff is foreshadowing in that, and just everybody is well written. no matter who it is. Some series you get that fall off because of character is getting a lot of screen time and presence, and they're just not that well written, and they don't really pose a factor besides one thing. But man, everybody in here up to this point is amazing and well written, and it definitely has Chainsaw Man, Makima, manipulation vibes in it. And maybe there's a chance of Chainsaw Man when it, because I just think Chainsaw Man at this point can't fail. There might be a still small percentage. I think it's a 15% chance that it could fail. But outside of that, I just feel like regardless of what happens, Chainsaw Man is just gonna blow up and just be crazy. Hopefully in the future, man, we could get a Fire Punch animation. I want to see that because reading the series now, man, this stuff is good. I feel like Fire Punch would be golded. But let me know what y'all think about Fire Punch. Have you read it? If not, please read it. Out of all these series in here, if I can advise one, I would say Fire Punch. Fire Punch is very well put together, and the story is just amazing, up to my point that I've read it. And lastly, you see the big box in the back. Thank you to my friends, Jalen, JB, Juan. Really appreciate y'all for getting me this for my birthday. So the Akira box set that you see in the back, the 35th anniversary Akira box set. This was one of those box sets that I had on my list for a long time, and I was always waiting to the right time with the right price to get it. I used to see it at like $150 to $160. It retails at $199 plus tax, so probably like $205, $210. But they got it for me for my birthday, and this is the only one in here that I know nothing about, and that was intentional because when it comes to series outside of shonen and stuff, I love to stay away from anything and just go into a blind. That just throws me for a loop, and I get more enjoyment out of series like that. So that's why I haven't looked anything into that. Usually when I do these videos, I love to just know a little bit of knowledge about the creator or what's going on, the premise of it. But I just know that Akira is very influential to everybody out there, and I want to see what the hype is about. I know it's always been good stuff said about it. It's always been recommended, and maybe after I'm done reading it, I can recommend it to y'all. But I'm definitely going to crack this box up and open and get it. The box set just is one of those box sets that is definitely well constructed and well put together. I love how this magnetic and it opens up like that. It comes with the patch, just the volumes, the hardcover, the way, just everything about the box set is so detailed. And sorry if you hear anything in the background, people speeding, so I'm sorry about that. Very detailed, and you just can't take away from that. They didn't have to go that extra mile for a series like this, but they actually did that, and I really appreciate that. Plus, I'm on my little nostalgic vintage, going back in time, 80s, 90s, 70s, just whatever it is. And I just love older anime / manga, how it looks. It really just do it for me every single time. It just really does it for me every single time. So that was why Akira is really on top of my list. So that has been my manga haul for June and July. I hope you liked it. I hope I convinced you to get some of these in here, because like I said, if you had to get one, I really advise Fire Punch. I really think that series is very good. It's very, if you're a fan of Chainsaw Man and you just like darker series, definitely give Fire Punch a chance. It's more grittier, more darker. Just the story is just like has you like, I was like, oh my god, whoa, like what is this? Like neighbors were hearing me and everything. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. I really appreciate it on this channel. Check out other content, and I'll be back with another manga haul later on, if something special happens in the next coming week or so. I'll hit y'all up again if it does. If it does, then we're gonna have a lot of manga hauls on here. It's been your boy Takame Love Anime. I really appreciate y'all watching my manga haul, and make sure y'all get out there and read. Peace.